The last note. Some people leave behind inheritances of money. Others leave houses and land. But my grandfather, he left me something far more valuable. Something I only discovered when it was too late to say thank you. 3 months after Grandpa William's funeral, my mom asked me to help clean out his old house. I didn't want to go. That house held too many memories, and every room seemed to scream his absence. I was organizing the books on his shelf when a yellowed envelope fell from inside a copy of To Kill a Mockingbird. My name was written on it in his shaky handwriting, Sarah. Inside, there was a note dated from my 10th birthday 15 years ago. It read, "My dear Sarah, if you're reading this, I'm probably gone. Don't be sad. I lived a full life, and you were one of its greatest joys. I'm hiding notes for you around this house. Each one is in a place that mattered to us. Find them when you're ready. They're my way of staying with you a little longer. The first clue, look where we used to count the stars. All my love, Grandpa William." My hands were shaking. The attic. We used to sneak up to the attic window on summer nights to watch the stars. I ran up those creaky stairs faster than I had in years. Behind the old telescope, taped to the window frame, was the second note. "You found it! Remember when you were 12 and wanted to be an astronaut? I told you that you could be anything you wanted. I still believe that, Sarah. You stopped dreaming somewhere along the way. I watched you choose the safe path, the practical career. But safe isn't the same as happy. Next clue, look where I taught you to be brave. The kitchen. When I was 7, I was terrified of cooking after I burned my hand on the stove. Grandpa spent an entire summer teaching me again, patiently showing me that fear was just a feeling, not a prison. Behind the old cookie jar, I found the third note. Being brave doesn't mean you're not scared. It means you do it anyway. You've forgotten that, haven't you? I see you staying in that job you hate, in that relationship that makes you small, because you're afraid of change. But here's what I learned in my 87 years. Regret is heavier than fear. Next clue, look where we made our biggest mess. The garage. I smiled through tears, remembering the summer we tried to build a treehouse and failed spectacularly. We laughed so hard that day. The fourth note was tucked inside his old toolbox. Remember our terrible treehouse? It collapsed in a week. But we laughed, didn't we? Failure isn't the enemy, Sarah. Not trying is. I failed at so many things in my life. My first business went bankrupt. I was rejected by your grandmother twice before she said yes. I burned dinner more times than I can count. But I tried, and the trying made life worth living. Next clue. Look where I kept my most precious treasure. His bedroom. On his nightstand, there was always a framed photo of our family. Behind that frame, I found the fifth note, and this one broke me. You are my most precious treasure, Sarah. Not money, not things, but you. The way you laughed at my terrible jokes. The way you held my hand when I was sick. The way you saw me, not as an old man, but as someone who still mattered. I'm leaving you this house, but more importantly, I'm leaving you permission. Permission to dream again, permission to fail, permission to be scared and do it anyway, permission to live a life that's yours, not anyone else's expectations. But there was more. There's one last note. Look in the place where we said goodbye every time you visited. The front porch. We always hugged on that porch before I drove home. Under the welcome mat, worn and faded, was the final envelope. My hands trembled as I opened it. If you found all my notes, then you walked through our memories one last time. I hope they reminded you of who you really are. Not the scared woman who plays it safe, but the brave girl who wanted to touch the stars. I have one last request. Don't wait until you're 87 to start living. Don't wait until it's too late to chase your dreams. Don't wait to tell people you love them. Don't wait to become who you were meant to be. Life is shorter than you think, my dear Sarah. Make it count. And when you're ready, when you've found your courage again, I want you to do something for me. Pass this house on to someone who needs it more than you. Fill it with new memories, new laughter, new dreams. That's how we live forever, not in walls and wood, but in the lives we touch. I love you always. Now go live. Grandpa William. I sat on that porch and cried for an hour, not just tears of grief, but tears of gratitude, of shame for the years I'd wasted, and finally, of hope. The next week, I quit my job, the one I'd stayed at for 7 years because it was stable, even though it drained my soul. I ended my engagement to a man who loved me, but who I didn't love back. I was just too afraid to admit it. 6 months later, I enrolled in photography school, something I'd dreamed about since I was a teenager. A year after that, I donated Grandpa's house to a women's shelter, a place where other people could find safety and hope, just like he'd given me. 3 years have passed now. I'm not rich, I'm not famous, but I'm happy. I wake up every morning excited about my life. I take risks, I fail sometimes, and when I do, I remember that terrible treehouse and smile. I keep all 6 notes in a box on my desk. On hard days, when fear whispers that I should go back to playing it safe, I read them again, and I hear his voice, as clear as if he was standing right beside me, telling me that I can do anything I want. Some people leave behind money. My grandfather left me something better. He left me permission to live, and that, I've learned, is the greatest inheritance of all. The end.